Okay, so you're driving to work, right? Coffee's in the cup holder, sun's coming up.
Sounds idyllic.
It is until, bam, pothole.
Uh-oh.
Luckily, my tires survived. But it
Yeah.
really got me thinking about the stuff those tires are made of. Like, how often do we think about what goes into making something so strong and resilient?
It's true. We don't give it a second thought, usually,
Yeah.
until we hit that pothole.
Exactly. So today's deep dive, we're talking about the magic that turns gooey liquid rubber into those everyday things you rely on. We're diving deep into the world of coagulation operation.
Turning rubber soup into, well, tires, shoe soles, even those little rubber duckies.
Exactly. And for this deep dive, we're using RoleCatcher's career guide and their website as our sort of roadmap.
Great resources.
Yeah. So for someone who might think coagulation operator sounds like something out of Star Trek, what does this job actually involve?
Well, forget warp speed. It's more like controlled chaos. Imagine like a conductor,
Okay.
but instead of an orchestra, they're orchestrating machines.
Yeah.
Filters, shaker screens, hammer mills, all working together to transform that milky liquid latex into something we can actually use.
So it's not just stirring a big vat of rubber.
Oh, no, it is not that simple.
What's the part that most people wouldn't know about? What's the real aha moment when we talk about turning, like, goo into grip?
It's all about precision. You see, that liquid latex, it has to be coaxed into clumping together,
Okay.
forming what's called crumb slurry. Think transforming a milkshake.
Okay.
Well, more like a chunky oatmeal, maybe. And that's where the machines come in. That's where the constant monitoring is essential. Too much moisture, soggy mess,
Uh-oh.
too little, useless, like a brick.
So coagulation operators are like the quality control wizards of the rubber world.
Exactly. Analyzing, adjusting, troubleshooting,
Oh.
making sure that each and every batch is perfect, that it hits that sweet spot, and it's ready to be made into all those products we use every day.
So they're the reason my tire didn't explode when I hit that pothole this morning.
They play a pretty important part, yes.
Right. This is already blowing my mind, and we're just getting started. I want to know, what's it like to actually be in that environment, like surrounded by these industrial strength blenders, basically?
We'll get ready to hold on to your hard hat
Okay.
because things are about to get loud.
Okay, hard hats on, ears plugged, I hope. So we're stepping onto the factory floor now. What's the first thing that hits you, besides the noise?
The energy. It's like a symphony.
Okay.
But instead of instruments, it's these massive filters whirring, the shaker screens clattering away.
Ah, so it really is orchestrated chaos.
RoleCatcher mentioned teamwork as a big part of this job. How does that play into all of this?
Oh, it's essential. Imagine one of those giant machines decides to act up, right?
Oh, no.
You've got like seconds to figure it out before things go really wrong, and that's when that teamwork kicks in. Experienced operators, the maintenance crew, maybe even an engineer or two.
Why?
All coming together to get things back on track. Talk about pressure. So you need nerves of steel for this job. So someone who's starting out, right, how do they go from like newbie to seasoned coagulation pro? What does that journey look like?
So picture this. You start as an assistant, shadowing a seasoned operator. You're learning like the subtle signs
Oh.
of a machine about to go haywire. How to fine-tune those settings just so to get that perfect crumb slurry.
It's like they're whispering to the
You
machines.
could say that. And as you gain experience, you get to run those machines yourself, make those judgment calls.
Ah,
And who knows, maybe one day you're leading your own team, mentoring the next batch of rubber whispers.
and this is where those career stages examples in RoleCatcher come in, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Seeing those real stories of people moving up from entry level all the way to team lead, that makes it feel more real, you know?
Yeah. And those profiles really show how diverse this job is. It's not just like pushing buttons all day. You're analyzing data. You're coming up with solutions. It's dynamic.
Speaking of dynamic, there was this one thing in RoleCatcher's pros and cons that I had to do a double take on.
What's that?
They listed potential opportunity to work in a healthcare setting as a pro.
Oh, yeah.
Am I imagining like rubber gloves and stethoscopes? Because I don't quite get the connection.
Right. I know. Seems a bit out of place, doesn't it? Maybe a typo? Maybe an algorithm gone rogue?
Maybe.
But it does make you wonder, right? Like, what unexpected connections are out there?
It's all connected, as they say. Maybe there's this whole world of rubber innovation happening in labs somewhere that we don't even know about.
Right. See, that's what I love about these deep dives. You never know what you're going to find.
Speaking of finding things, let's shift gears a bit. We've talked about the present, But what about the future of coagulation? Technology's changing faster than ever.
Oh, absolutely.
What's next for these rubber wizards?
Yeah, good point. I mean, we've gone from gooey latex to perfectly formed crumb slurry.
Right.
We've seen those massive machines, the teamwork.
Yeah.
But things are always changing. Absolutely.
What do coagulation operators need to know to keep up? How are things changing?
Well, think about those early coagulation operators.
Okay.
Probably relying on, like, techniques passed down for generations,
Oh, yeah.
word of mouth, that kind of thing.
Right.
But today, it's a whole new ballgame. RoleCatcher's industry trends section really opened my eyes.
Oh, yeah.
AI-powered sensors, analyzing the latex in real time,
Whoa.
robots lending a hand, or a manipulator, I guess, with the heavy-duty tasks.
So we're talking about a future where robots and humans are like teaming up to make rubber.
Yeah, think of it like they're partners in rubber.
Wow.
And sustainability is huge right now.
Oh, right. Of course.
Bio-based rubbers instead of synthetics, coagulation processes that are, greener,
Yeah.
less waste, less energy. It's a really exciting time to be in the field.
It really is. This is what I love about these deep dives.
Me too.
We started talking about rubber duckies, and now we're talking about the future of material science. It's quite a journey.
It is. But let's bring it back down to earth for a minute.
Right.
So for someone listening who's like, this is so cool, I want to learn more, where do they even start?
Well, RoleCatcher actually gives some great advice. Online courses, workshops,
Right.
especially ones that focus on the newest tech, that's key.
Yeah.
Keeps you ahead of the curve.
So even if you're not, like, quitting your job tomorrow to become a coagulation operator,
Right.
you can still learn about it.
Exactly. Knowledge is power.
Right.
Opens doors, sparks new interests, maybe even a whole new career path. Who knows?
It really does make you look at, I don't know, those everyday rubber objects a little differently.
For sure.
Like, I'm holding my phone and I'm thinking about all the steps
Right.
and the machines and the people
to
make this little rubber phone case.
Yeah.
Speaking of different perspectives, RoleCatcher also mentions alternative titles and
Yeah.
adjacent career guides. So it's
Yeah.
like coagulation operation is just like one piece of the puzzle.
Yeah.
It's the tip of the iceberg.
Yeah. Tip of the rubber iceberg.
Exactly. Think about it. Those problem-solving skills,
Yeah.
that technical know-how, being able to adapt,
Right.
those are valuable in so many industries, not just rubber.
True.
Chemical mixing, injection molding, even things like, materials testing, quality control.
Wow. Yeah. It's all connected.
It really is.
Well, on that note, I think we've reached the end of our deep dive into coagulation operation.
This was a fun one.
It was. I've learned so much. So for everyone listening, next time you see a rubber band or a tire or a rubber ducky
Or a phone case.
or phone case, take a second, think about the journey it took from that gooey liquid to the object it is now.
Yeah.
It's a good reminder that even the most ordinary things have pretty extraordinary stories behind them.
Well said. Couldn't agree more.
Thanks for joining us for this deep dive, everyone. We'll see you next time.